Welcome back to the program. Let's bring in now live in the studio the Manager of Opposition Business, Paul Fletcher. Question time in about 25 minutes from now. I guess the Coalition's focus is all on this migration amendment bill.
Well, there's obviously a lot of issues that the government is deserving of scrutiny on. Certainly migration issues, keeping Australians safe, and we've seen over the last few months this unfolding saga with Andrew Giles as Immigration Minister, Claire O'Neil, Home Affairs Minister, just not appearing to be on top of their portfolios at all, and of course putting the safety of Australians at risk. And we've certainly asked plenty of questions about those issues, and it's a totally proper use of question time. Of course, also the car and ute tax, what will be the continuing impacts for Australians, and a whole range of other issues as well, the cost of living crisis. So we will certainly be using question time today, as we have this week and as we have throughout the time we've been in opposition, to hold the government to account. They're very resistant.
Are you happy to come back if the government is able to convince the Coalition of the urgency, the need for getting this migration amendment bill done?
Look, we've been very clear. We think there is more scrutiny needed, as Dan Tehan has said, as Senator James Paterson has said. We had a very brief hearing last night at our insistence, raised more questions than it answered. The Coalition has consistently been very constructive on helping the government fix the mess it's created. Look at what we did late last year. We turned up when required. In fact, it was drafting suggestions from Peter Dutton, the Coalition team, that helped the government get out of a mess it had created.
So you're not just trying to stir the mess right now, stir the pot by not agreeing to what looks like a tougher measure.
Not at all. But what we are saying is, quite properly, these are significant changes. There needs to be scrutiny. That's why we voted for a motion in the Senate this morning for there to be a proper inquiry.
Claire O'Neil accuses you of basically just playing politics.
Well, not at all. Not at all. I don't think anybody could suggest that the Coalition, under Peter Dutton as leader, under any of our previous leaders and Prime Ministers, has been anything other than completely focused on how we keep Australians safe on border protection. This is absolutely central. Of course, what we want to know is that the measures proposed are going to work. We asked some questions last night. We've got further questions that we think need to be answered. If that makes out a case for urgency, of course we will work appropriately with the government. But the idea that our shadow ministers should be briefed 7:30 yesterday morning, when we know the bill was actually prepared late last week, if you look
you think that was a stitch-up?
If you ask,
are you saying the timing of that was a stitch-up to get it done late in the piece before Easter? So they can get this off the
I'm simply
agenda.
saying, if I were the Home Affairs Minister, I would not be throwing around accusations of playing politics on this, when the Coalition has a strong track record, an unimpeachable track record over decades of taking border protection extremely seriously. We have always engaged constructively with this government. We'll continue to do so. But that doesn't mean you abandon the role of proper scrutiny, and there are questions that need to be asked.
Manager of Opposition Business, Paul Fletcher, will stay in touch. Thank you. Appreciate it.